Palak, I'm trying really hard not to jump up and down right now for two reasons. Because I don't want to freak you out that I'm a weirdo fangirl already, and because I live in a house that's 240 years old. And so we treat her like an old lady, and we would never jump on an old lady. So I am not jumping up and down. But I am so excited to have met you and to have this conversation. Feel like we share a heartbeat.
Oh, I love that. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
It's my greatest pleasure. Okay, so before we talk about all the things that I'm dying to know and hear more about, I'd love to know, how are you saying yes to yourself in this season?
This is such a good question. I'm saying yes to myself by actually saying yes to what I stand for and believe in and tuning out the noise a bit to turn inwards into what I want more of and what I know that people are craving. So I'm really saying yes to listening to that intuition and being aligned with myself and creating from that place instead of an outwardly place.
I love you. We share a heartbeat. Check. We could just be done right now since every conversation with you, I've already decided, will be too short.
Oh.
Everything. Yes, that is exactly, it's what everyone listening to the sound of our voice is all about. And it is a decision.
Hmm.
And I will tell you, you said a word that a woman in our sisterhood, she chose that particular word for her word of the year. And I used this word in 2022 and it was aligned. And
Mm.
holy smokes, that word is no joke because you will be cutting things out of your life that
Yes.
you had no idea you were even allowed to, but there's such a prize.
Oh, there totally is. And I think what's interesting is it's taken me a while to get there. I mean, I lead
Sure.
from a place of authenticity and I've always been very sort of authentic to myself and I'm very much like what you see online is exactly who I am. I never show up as a different person. I'm very much me. But the decisions in terms of what I was creating was not always in alignment. So I would think that the
Mm.
path to serving the people I want to serve, I had to sort of follow what was going on. It was like there might have been, a rise in online courses, let's say. And I'm like, oh, do I need to launch an online course? Or a rise in a certain thing that women might have been craving, but it might not have been aligned to me. So I'm really learning to just cut out that noise and figure out what are the offerings that feel most aligned where I can show up as my best self and therefore the women around me can feel that energy truly and really get the value out of it.
Oh my gosh, 1,000 times yes. And it is true what you said about that energy because we're magnetic.
Yeah.
So if we are creating something that we're feeling a little bit removed from and we're trying to make it appealing to these other strangers that we think it's what they want, but we don't even really know them. And it's so muddy. And we know also the confused buyer doesn't buy, and
Yes.
they're just reflecting our own lack of clarity.
Exactly. And clarity is also a big word in that because
Hmm.
as somebody who really loves to have new ideas and do all the things, like I'm a manifesting generator by human
Ah,
design. So
okay.
I'm very much like I get really excited about a new idea, but that doesn't mean that I have to pursue it right now. And one thing I'm learning is it's okay to have all these ideas. That's a blessing. Not everyone can come up with a million ideas, but I don't have to execute on all of them at the same time. There's a time and a place, and throughout the journey of my life, I mean, you know this probably more than anybody,
Hmm.
where you can follow a dream. It doesn't have to be in the moment. It might take years to come into fruition, but it's been placed there for a reason. And eventually it will happen if it's meant to happen. So I'm just learning to sort of focus and have that clarity and say, what do people need right now? And what am I really excited about offering right now? And then leading from that place.
It's so beautiful, and I hear everything that you're saying. I am a generator by human
Mhm.
design, so equally an idea factory and I have the staying power to ride this thing out, which it takes as long as it takes. Like you were
Yeah.
saying, it took you a while to get to this place of this particular clarity, but it is a journey, not a destination. And
Exactly.
we're always growing and having new awarenesses.
Yep.
But there is something that I'm leaning into, this idea that I'm the only one keeping me from how fast this thing comes out, right? Like
Yes.
I have this dream, it is in me, I know it's for me. I have been um, a person who had many opportunities to hone the virtue of patience.
Mm,
And I thought that if I was really good at patience, that I actually wouldn't need it very much, that God would just say, "Oh, well, you're so nice and you're doing such a good job. I'm just going to give you all the things." But
yeah.
realizing that for me, sorry that I'm taking so long to get this out. I'm having this awareness in real time. My
I
listeners
love
know.
that.
They can fast forward. They'll be fine. Um, when I would think about what I wanted, for example, we were chatting before I hit record, when I lived in California and I wanted to live in Massachusetts, okay, I packed 3 times as an adult for a cross country move and
Mm,
twice unpacked still in California.
mm,
I spent 24 Mother's Days without a child
wow.
before we adopted Amelia. And even switching from trying to have a baby on my own to international adoption, it was supposed to take 8 to 12 months. We were in the queue for 10 years. So when
Wow.
I say waiting is my superpower, like that's a stupid thing to say. Like that is not a superpower. That is something that I was perpetuating. Of course, everything worked out and it's all as it should be and all those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it would have all worked out as well if I, in those times of thinking about those desires, focused more on what I wanted
Mm,
than on the lack of what I wanted. So I
wow.
would say I only let myself think about those things for 30 seconds at a time because I thought that was nice to my heart. And I had longing. I felt longing. I
Mm,
felt that longing doesn't feel good. Like, but I
no.
felt it and I thought that meant I really, 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 really want this. So someone outside is really, 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 really going to give it to me. And I was blocking my own door.
What a powerful realization to have, though, in
Yeah,
retrospect. That's
totally.
You said that so beautifully because I think it isn't about, I think there's a beauty to patience and amazing that, eventually you can get what you want. But you're right, it's not in the longing. The longing is not what's going to get it to you. It's exactly what you said about spending time thinking about the things that you want and then being sort of grateful from that place, like thinking of that future you, getting the things that you want, being grateful that it will come to you, being excited, having the emotions of abundance versus the lack. And those are the things that are going to get us closer to where we want to be, not focusing on sort of what we don't have and how long it might take to make it happen.
Absolutely. And just knowing, like you said, you want to go there in your mind, you want to feel good, and then get on with your day. Like you don't have
Exactly.
to figure out the how. Please
Oh,
do
the
not. Oh my
how.
gosh. I had this amazing coach. Some of the things that I hear, like read in these fabulous books or hear
Yes,
from these amazing
yes.
mentors and coaches and thought leaders, I have to hear a few times because I think,
Mhm.
oh, that was really good. And I feel like it means something and I don't know exactly what it means. And then there are other things I only have to hear once. And
Yep.
this amazing coach, Gina DeVee, said, the how is not your responsibility.
Oh, that's so liberating.
Oh my gosh, what an exhale. I was like, okay, put it on a sticky note, stuck it right here on my window. And like, what a relief. Okay. Well,
I've heard
we've
that
got some
so
dreaming to do.
yes, I've heard that before and I've had to hear it again and again. It's such a good reminder because I've also had coaches tell me, it's about the outcome that you're looking for, sort of that goal that you're working towards or the dream, whatever you want to call it. And then the why is what matters more than the how. It's like, why do you want those things? Like dig
Mhm.
deep into the feeling of there's a reason that you
Exactly.
have that dream. There's a reason that you want the baby. There's a reason. There's a reason for all of the things. And if you focus on the reasons more than the how, then the how will come because you're
That's
just
right.
in that place of being so focused on the dream happening for you. The how will figure itself out. And
Mhm.
honestly, most times, the how is not the way that you think it will happen. That's what's funny about it. We push and push for the how, and it never really is the way that it ends up happening. So I don't know why we don't all just let go and let the
Remember that.
yeah, and let the universe do its magic in that way because that's the magic where the how becomes something like an opportunity will show up or you're pursuing one thing and you meet someone else and suddenly you're on a path that you didn't think you'd be on. And so I think that's the beautiful part of having these dreams and realizing we can let go a little bit.
Oh my gosh, let go a lot.
A lot.
With confidence, with
Yes.
certainty, with
Mhm.
knowing that the universe has a way better view. And although you and I are idea factories, fairly certain that his ideas are better and that he can actually see from the viewpoint of how this is going to work out and what
Yeah.
the path of least resistance to get us from where we are to where we want to be
Oh,
is.
absolutely. And the path of least resistance is such an important point there because we often think it's the hardest thing and we have to continue to do and push and put in the hard work. But actually, it's in the simplicity and the least resistance that we have that ease and alignment that we're talking about to actually get to those things.
Exactly. It's the difference between motivation and inspired action, right? Motivation is the things that I deem necessary to create the conditions that are what I'm dreaming of, where
Yes.
inspired action are the steps that I take to enjoy what I've already created through my desire and my like it's just and it's in that Amber Lilystrom said this, the yes
Mhm.
unlocks the how. So yes, dream about it. Yes, feel all the good feels and then get out of there and go, do something, but take that inspired action because wanting and sitting on your couch does not get you to New England, but wanting and, moving that from want to knowing, that gives
Yes,
you the idea to apply for the job or make the phone call or look for a bed and breakfast or
absolutely.
whatever. You don't even know.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the
It's so
knowing.
fun,
I love that.
right? And I would say that all of this beautiful insight and the yes, yes, more of that, please, is just enhanced through community when we are having conversations like this with somebody who is nodding their head, that is getting it. And I love everything that you're doing that fosters this type of gorgeous community.
Mhm.
Please say everything about that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I've really learned along sort of my journey coming from working corporate jobs and then having an idea of being in a big city. I'm in Toronto, Canada, and for me, just seeing the lack of community that existed. Like I was isolated, I was sort of on my own path. I would see my colleagues at work, but I didn't necessarily feel like I had the community to reflect these sorts of conversations and ideas that I was having in my mind. And so I thought, there has to be a way for me to build a space that allows people to connect on a deeper level. And so at the time, this was 8 years ago now, there wasn't really this notion of curated experiences and connection. It wasn't something that people really understood. You would go to like a fitness class or a workshop or maybe do a walk with, a group of strangers that you would meet, but it wouldn't really be that like everything was this beautifully done, curated experience. But that's where my vision was. I really wanted it to be not so much about the event, but the experience and the feeling that it leaves you with. And so I started with this idea of creating one sort of experience for a group of women. I threw it up on a ticketing page. And I had such incredible response. Like the event sold out within 24 hours. It was a yoga and brunch event and it sold out so quickly. And it was just like the idea of doing something together and then sitting over a shared meal and reflecting on it was something most women were craving. And I still think they're craving. And so I just started with that one idea. I left my corporate job. I created my company Embiria, which means experience. And it's all about getting women to take that time for themselves, to give themselves the permission to pause, to gather, to connect in real life, form those connections, and then grow together and really reflect on those dreams that they have and support each other along the journey. And it's been such a beautiful
Just
journey.
laughing so hard. It's like, are you reading my about page right now? Like, oh my gosh. You guys, listener, when I tell you the how is not your responsibility, you will attract these people that see you and hear you and know you and love you. And it's magic. Yes, 1,000 times yes to everything. It's everything that I'm doing here as well. And
Love that.
I love and I see you in we want experience. We want the pattern interrupt. We want something dreamy that we can just step into. And, I don't know what your background was. For me, I was a wedding planner. So I
Yep.
only know how to everything's a wedding to me. And so I love when like they're all the bride, I'm the bride, we're all the bride, it's all good. And I
Yep.
own the venue, so we can do whatever we want whenever we want. It's like, oh my gosh, it's
It's
so good.
It's funny because we share that sort of vision. I mean, when I worked my corporate jobs, I did a lot of event planning. I worked
Mhm.
for a large bookstore in Canada called Indigo. I was on the marketing team, so I did a lot of the in-store author events and the member events there. And then I worked for the Toronto Film Festival for 4 years. So it was
So
all about
fun.
an experience and what does that experience feel like to the customers and to people buying tickets and that were coming to the festival. And so when I launched Embiria, I realized, my experience with partnerships, with relationship building, with like all of those things really came to fruition to then have this idea and coupling that with my personal passion of just wanting to deeply connect and find that community for myself, I think is what really set it apart. And so I kind of developed this signature approach to my experiences where it is a bit of a sensory experience. Like what I hear from the women is it's unlike any other event they've gone to, and that's not because of the production of it. It has nothing
Exactly.
to do with the like, oh, you have beautiful centerpieces and all that stuff. That's gorgeous, but it's about the feeling that they get when they come. So it's the welcoming, the sense of belonging, the feeling of feeling connected to strangers that they've never met and leaving feeling like they're all friends. And so I think that's luckily where I've sort of owned that magic of what I can offer to them. And so now it's evolved over the past 7 years. I've probably hosted about 400 of these events for women, which is a lot of events. And over time, I realized that the women wanted ways to connect outside of just the events. So the events are
Sure.
lovely, but you want to bring that into your day-to-day life and you
Yeah.
want to have these ongoing feelings of feeling connected to yourself and the people around you. And so that ended up leading me to write my book, Beautiful Everydays, and then also launch a membership community for women, which keeps them connected in between the experiences. And so it really is a place for them to come when they're building their dreams. They need a place to land and a place to pause and a place to feel supported and do it amongst the company of other like-minded women. And so these highly, passionate, driven, ambitious women need that. They need the supportive community. And we're not another membership community that's about content and courses. We are a
Mhm.
community that's about the real connection and the experiences you share to then propel you into your dream life. That's really what it is.
Yes, exactly. You're so preaching to the choir right now. I love all of that. And we have a Say Yes Sisterhood. We're doing all the same things. I love that
A great name. I love
people,
Say,
well,
Say
thank
Yes,
you.
Sisterhood. That's awesome.
I mean, it's just beautiful. Just like you how those jobs that you had were cooperative components that were giving you all the beautiful resources in your Mary Poppins bag so that when you got to this place, you had tools that you could pull from. It's so gorgeous. And it's
Mm.
so gorgeous that we are doing things that have a lot of similarities and a lot of differences, and neither of us are feeling like, oh, well, now everyone's going to join her membership. I mean, it's like so lame. Of course,
Oh
we
my
don't
gosh, no.
think, I know, like there's so abundance.
Yes. And if you think that way, I feel like, it's funny because I do something on my Instagram. I'm not a huge social media person just simply because I'm a deep connector and I don't want to spend all my time on social media scrolling. But I will say that I use social media for points of connection. So one of the things that I
Exactly.
do is I do a weekly event roundup and I talk about other people's events. So I share beautiful dinners that are happening, workshops that are going on, places you can go to connect. And I've had women say to me like, oh, it's so interesting. You host events and experiences, but you're always sharing other
Mhm.
people's. And I'm like, well, yes, like I want you to go to other people's and I want to support these other businesses. I never want to think that like my events are the only ones that you should come to. That comes from such a place of scarcity and lack that I would never even think that way. So it came naturally to me to say, like, of course, like go to that beautiful dinner and then come back and, share your experience. Tell us how it was. You're gonna leave feeling better. So then you're gonna show up to any space that you're in as a better
Exactly.
person. And it's just so beautiful
Exactly.
to have that collaboration and support.
Yes.
I've collaborated with other, people that host events, and so much can come out of that. And it's just a really beautiful ecosystem that you can create versus sitting in your
Mhm.
silo and thinking, I can do this all alone and I'm going to build my membership. And yeah, that's just not a place of feeling connected. And since I'm all about connection,
Right.
I don't think that aligns with that. So,
Exactly. And I love that you pointed that out because it is a mindset of lack and scarcity. It's, even if someone was like if you're doing a reel of how you're putting together one
yeah,
of your tables or something, or like I'm showing someone, I make a cocktail every Friday night on Instagram. I don't, it's not like I think, oh, if you make your own cocktail, then you won't need me. Like
yeah,
no one's making the cocktail. They're just going to see like what silly thing because I make brand new recipes that I've never tried before and I wait till I'm live to do it and I can't
I
open the
love that.
jar or because I
Yeah,
don't
but you're
care.
totally right. You're totally right that people see, that's happened to me many times where someone's seen a tablescape. I mean, I've even seen people use some of the language that I use on my
Right.
event pages. And but you have to realize that's okay. You're
Yeah,
inspiring people. And if as
totally.
long as for them it's coming from a place of authenticity as well, like that's up to them to worry about. It's not for you to worry
Exactly.
about. It's like
Right.
you just do what feels authentic to you, and then you're going to continue to exceed in your journey because you're
Yeah.
staying authentic to yourself. So I think
Right.
if you stay focused on that, then it doesn't matter what everyone around you is doing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the beauty you said earlier, just shutting out all of that noise.
Yes.
And that is when we are in alignment. That is when our ventures grow. That is when we're attracting the clients that are supposed to be our clients because we've worked on that relationship between me and me. Like
Yes.
I know what alignment feels like. All of your events, I'm sure you feel the same way because we're the same person. Even my trips to Paris, so I lead culinary trips for solo female travelers. And I know it's all dreamy,
So
everything, because I only do what I want to do. I'm
I
only available for what delights me. That is my life
Oh, that's such a
mantra.
good line. I
Thank
love
you.
that.
You may use it or choose whatever
Oh,
you
that's
are
so,
available for.
what a great way to sort of pick what you're going to focus on with that line, because it's
Mhm,
like if you're constantly saying that to yourself, then you just
mhm,
know when an opportunity comes, does this feel like something
exactly.
that delights me or does it not? I love that. That's such a great
Exactly.
way to be.
And to qualify it, there are things that I need to do that on their own don't delight me.
Yes.
I don't now, but I used to have chickens. I have to clean the chicken coop. Does
Yeah.
that chore on its own delight me? No.
but
Does
the
owning
overall,
chickens delight
yeah,
me? You bet. So, okay, I have to do some things.
yeah, it's like cleaning my puppy's poop. I don't
Exactly.
love that, but I love him and he's the cutest thing ever.
Right.
So,
He delights you.
yeah,
Yes. So it is like it's a sustainable model. You
it
can
is.
actually use this mantra to run things
Yes.
through.
But that's so beautiful because it's so true to you. And that means you can
Mhm.
kind of use it throughout your whole life to be your
Exactly.
compass of
Exactly.
what you're going to pursue and what you're not versus something that's unrealistic and more about the goal and attaining some level of
Yes.
success that maybe, isn't really feeling realistic. Like this is such a great way to get to those steps,
Right.
but in a way that
Right.
feels like true to you.
Yes. Because we're not looking at a certain number of followers or
Exactly.
even like,
Exactly.
do I want to, quote unquote, sell my trip out? Well, sure, because that means more women said yes to themselves. Like, that's what this whole thing is about. And I've gone on the trips myself. If no one signs up, like, that just means it's easier to make dinner reservations. Like, I don't know. I'm still going. I'm not waiting for somebody else's yes to be my yes. And then
Mm,
it's also just like you with your events and the things that you're doing because of that alignment. We're not selling, it's an invitation. Like, I'm
yes.
going to be over here having the time of my life. You are welcome to follow along on Instagram, or you may register and save your own seat
Oh
because,
my
like,
gosh.
this is what's happening.
That's your way of selling from a place of authenticity because you're
Sure.
going to do it anyway. And I think that's
Yeah.
what's so beautiful about it that you've had the experience, you're going to do it anyway. It's the same as me. Like, I am going to connect with women in my community
Right.
anyway. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to host dinners at home anyway. I'm going to go for walks, go to coffee shops, like help women figure out what their dream life looks like. I'm going to do that anyway. I do it for my friends, I do it for my circle. I may as well do it to reach more people and be able to like connect with them and share this experience. And so I approach my membership the same way. It's like, here we are doing this thing. If this is something that you're craving, come join us. But like, hey, if it's not, okay, that's okay too. So I think that's a really nice way of just being able to do work that is true to you. And hopefully people are coming along that journey and seeing the value.
Right. Oh, right. And I don't even think people that don't see the value, they're not even around long enough to hear the
Yes,
invitation. Like,
right. Exactly.
nobody, if I am not their person, I won't say your person, because if you listen this long of this podcast, I'm clearly your person. But if I'm not your person, I'm ridiculous to you. I'm
Yeah.
such an eye roll with my only being available for what delights me and living my dreamy barn life and delighting in the work of my hands and buying properties in France and
Yeah.
expanding my own property line. Like all the things. Like that sounds cuckoo to some people, my
Yeah.
ex-husband included. But it's okay. Like, he's not my client. Like, he's not my, and you're just going to attract the people that are for you.
Yes.
And you don't have to worry about everybody else because they're having their own experience and you don't need to fix them. You don't need to convince them. You don't need to bring them to your side of the street so that they can understand how this is such a good idea.
You're
It's
so
such a
right.
distraction.
It is such a distraction. And I've been guilty of this as well because
Oh, we all are.
yeah, exactly. We all are. But I've had women, that they'll see a glimpse of something that I'm doing, whether it's a beautiful dinner or whatever it is. And there's some curiosity there. But then, their thoughts creep in or whatever it is, like, oh, I'm so busy. I don't know if I can make time for this. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know if I can do this. And I'm like, this is ironic because those are the women that probably need
Exactly.
both, right? It's like
Yeah.
that whole thing. If you don't have time to meditate, you probably need to make an
Right.
hour for it.
Yeah.
Um, but it's
Stat.
interesting. Yeah, exactly. But I realized in that there is a certain person that I would like to have within the community that I used to say, oh, it's for all women. I just want women to connect. And then I realized, well, no, it's for the women that are ready and willing and
Yeah.
open and want this because it feels like for them, it's coming from a place of alignment. I don't want
Right.
to be the resistance where I have to convince you of
Hmm.
something. It's like, no,
Hmm.
I want it to feel like, oh, this is exactly what I'm looking for, and you're the right person. And so, in speaking to those people, you're going to have a bunch of other people that might not be drawn to that. And as you said,
Yeah.
that's okay. It's okay because you will find your people, and that's what
Yeah.
matters.
And there's more than enough. And you
Yes,
wouldn't
literally
have,
billions of people.
right. And we wouldn't have these, okay, listener, sweet listener, these dreams that are in your heart are placed there by God, universe, source. We were talking the other day in the membership about, I was reading this book and the author was saying, just so you know, I'm just going to refer to infinite intelligence as Gus. So God, universe, source, whatever. So
Oh,
Gus, right?
amazing.
Right? So all of these dreams are in your heart, placed there by Gus. And he doesn't, he's not short-sighted. He doesn't just give you the dream and say, okay, good luck with that. Hope you figure it out, because none of these elements, like you can have this car, but you're never going to have enough gas money. So I hope you
Right.
like it. Like if you have the wherewithal to dream the thing, then everything you need for the manifestation of this dream is equally available for you. There is not a time limit. There is not, as soon as you check this many boxes or meditate these many hours or donate this much money to all of these causes or figure out something that you think you don't know that you can kind of see, but you're not, none of that. We're all making it harder than it actually is.
Oh
We
gosh, yes.
just need to say, thank you. I received that.
Wow, that's so powerful. It's such a good lesson in that whole letting go that we're talking about, because that is when the magic will happen. That it truly
Right.
is. It's such a good reminder even for me as you say this.
And for me, it's
Yeah,
why I'm obsessed with this podcast
yeah,
because
yeah.
I get to, I mean, this is, I record on Thursdays. I sometimes have 5 interviews.
Wow.
So I am not the same woman on Thursday afternoon that I was on Thursday morning, because I've just gone to this very intense meditation mindset retreat, apparently, that is 5 hours long with these ridiculously fabulous guest speakers that came at which I didn't also look for any of these beautiful women. Like they find me, I say, yes, oh, you bet, sure. I get so many pitches. I say yes to all of them that feel in alignment. And because of that, I only receive aligned pitches. The whole thing is just wacky. And what I love, besides meeting amazing queens like you, is that talking about how much I love this podcast makes me love this podcast even more and reminds me why I love
Yes.
it, which then makes all of these new fabulous women come into my existence, which then we'll be dropping 3 episodes a week pretty soon. Like, I don't even know how this is happening. And my mantra for 2025 has been let it be easy. And
Mm,
at first, I wanted that because I thought, whew, that sounds fun. Like,
wow.
say more about that
Yeah.
very frivolous idea, because I just didn't think that was sustainable. And then I thought about this podcast, which is the most fun and fabulous thing of all the fun and fabulous things I do. And I am only available for what delights me. So, like, this is super, super, super delightful. It is my social proof that I can let it be easy.
That's
So
beautiful.
what else can I let be easy? Ooh, how about
Yes.
everything? Mm,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
so fun.
What you just said is what everyone should be applying to all areas of their life. That's exactly it. You're saying it, it's happening. It's a full circle thing that's happening. Like you do have that ecosystem going on because it's the thoughts, the action, the feeling, and then it comes back around and delivers, and then the universe listens. And so, yeah, this is the exact energy that everyone needs to apply to everything in life.
Right? Well, and we actually are,
Yeah.
right? Like we're either deliberately creating our experience or we're creating it by default. But
Yeah.
not this concept, this universal truth of this law of attraction, this manifestation, it doesn't just quote unquote work if you figured out how to do it for good things.
Yeah.
It's always working. So if you are not a fan of how you feel and what is showing up around you, guess what, Queen? You're the magnet for that.
Yeah.
So we're going to shift our thoughts. We're going to create a new soundtrack, a new dialogue, a new thought system, and we're going to use our emotions. How we feel is going to help us know if we're going in the direction of what we want or if we're opposing it. And we're
Yeah.
going to course correct. And it's going to be super clunky at first. It's always awkward before it's elegant. And then you're just going to be having beautiful conversations all day on a Thursday. It's that's how it
Imagine.
works.
Exactly. That's what happens. That's what can result in being in that energy in that space.
Yes. How is this playing out for you? Because I feel like all of your goodness has just made me talk too much. So,
Well, I resonate with everything that you're saying. So it's a lot of what I would be talking about anyway. So I love that you're in that space and excited about this. For me, it's exactly that. It's in the knowing that I actually had that same sort of sentiment around ease. I had that for this year. My word for the year was simplicity because
mm,
being the manifesting generator that I am, I
yeah,
really do have all these ideas. So to give you a picture and paint a picture, at the start of the year, it was like I was looking at all the things that I was working on, and I'm like, okay, so I have the book that I'm promoting. It hasn't even been a full year since it's been out. I have an online course that teaches you how to host your own events through my signature approach. But then I have also launched this membership, which just came out at sort of the end of last year. Then I'm still doing one-off events. I'm doing speaking gigs. I'm podcasting, doing interviews. I am doing so many things. And then I had like 10 other ideas that I
of
still wanted to
course.
launch this year, right? Like my ultimate dream, if we like get
Ooh,
sort of
let's.
dreamy, because I know that you would enjoy this. My ultimate dream is to have some sort of show or visual series where I'm going around and having conversations with women that do have dreams, big dreams that they've pursued and they've now brought to life. And they're living that dream life that they have thought of for so long. And I want to talk to them about how they feel in the moment, how fulfilling it is, and what the journey was to get them there. So I'd love to be traveling the world and interviewing women and
Awesome.
showcasing
I'm
stories.
I'm very excited to be in season one of your
Yeah,
fabulous
I
show.
literally was like, wait a second, that's you.
Yeah, we're totally doing this. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so
I
those
was
are
on
the
an
things.
HGTV show when we first moved here called
No
New
way.
House, New
Oh,
Life,
love
and
that.
it chronicled the stories of people that made major life changes associated with a big move.
Yeah.
So they liked the West Coast to East Coast, city to the country,
Yes.
wedding planner to wedding venue.
Yeah.
And it was so dreamy and fabulous. And I loved having a film crew follow me around. And it's like, that's what I want. So I love that our big dreams, which are actually the next logical step. We're going to have to upgrade the big dream part because
Yes.
this just makes sense that you're doing this. And
Yeah.
I would love to support you in that in any way.
That's amazing. It's
But
funny that we
it's
are
so
talking.
fun.
I know it's so fun. And I feel like for me, I've seen shows like that and I really want to tell the like real story. The
Right.
stuff where I walk into the house and it's a mess and no one's made it look beautiful for like Architectural Digest magazine. It's more like, no, what is the real version of
Yeah.
you that is in, the mess sometimes, but the beauty of the chaos and all the things that happen as a result of building that dream. So that's the ultimate. But all these things were in my mind at the beginning of the year. And of course, I'm like, well, what do I focus on? How am I going to make it all happen? And I was literally dedicating probably equal amounts of time to all the things. So I'm like
Mm.
10% to each thing that I'm working on. And in doing 10% to each, you're doing like none, right? It's like
Mhm.
you have to focus and give your all to one, have that one be running and be really in a place where you feel good about it. And it's like, then you can start to branch out and think about the other things. So I'm learning that word simplicity to bring me back to the one thing. And right now for me, it's like I launched the membership last year. Like I want to focus on just really creating this space for women and bringing people in and cultivating that. And it's like from there, I can do so many things, but I'm trying to really rein it in and not get too excited about pursuing all the other things all at the same time. So I know they will come eventually, but I'm learning each day to like bring that focus back and see what that exercise is like in the process of it, and how I feel and how I show up, and the moves that I make and how the dial is moved as a result of it.
Mm, I see you in that. My word last year was focus,
Mm.
and I was kicking and screaming into that one because it was suggested to me that that be my word. So that's, that's probably the first
Yeah.
indicator. But the reason that I had a lot of resistance around it was my definition. I felt like it was limiting me, where I'm like, I'm an idea factory. And my coach was saying, you can do whatever you want, but if you focus on these things, they will complete, and then you will have energy to go on to the next thing. And when I heard her say, you can do whatever you want, the tone that I heard was, you can do whatever you want, like discount this amazing coaching that you're paying for, or,
Right.
do whatever you want. But she realized that I was receiving the message in a different way than she was articulating it. And she stopped and she put her hand on top of my hand because we were actually at an in person event. She was like, Wendy, you can do whatever you want. Like
Oh,
you get to do all the things. Focus doesn't mean choose,
yes.
right?
It doesn't.
It's so good. It's expansive. It's deep. It's give these things the roots and I'm a flower farmer, so I need to prepare the soil. I need to put the stakes in the ground before the dahlia tubers start to spread so it doesn't damage them. But they need the support as they grow, and that's what focus does. And when I do that all at the time of getting the tubers in the ground and I put all that infrastructure in, I don't have to think about dahlias the entire season. And now I can give all my focus to this other thing. And it's going to happen fast. And you're going to get to do all of those beautiful things on your heart. When you check back in, are they still in line? Yes, they are. In fact, I've got 5 more ideas of how that's even going to come faster. Well, look at you. Good job.
I love that metaphor of the flowers. It's so true, right? Because it doesn't mean you don't have to put in the foundational work, and it doesn't mean it doesn't take a little bit of love and care and effort. But when you do it, you reap the rewards of it. But you have to do that step. You can't
Yeah.
just say, I want those dahlias. It's like, well, you have to go backwards. Like, if you do want them and you want them in a certain season and you want them to like live long and actually come through each year, then you have to do the work. And so I think
Yeah.
that's such a beautiful metaphor to anything that you dream of in life. It's not without understanding that yes, you get to do all these things. You get to do what you want, but if you're just planting the bulb or the seed and you're not actually then taking the steps to water it, to help it get enough sunlight and all the things and giving it the love and care, well, then it doesn't matter that you planted it. So you do have to do more than sort of that 10% on each thing that I was talking about. And that is where I'm at now, is realizing like I want those roots, and I want, even with the membership or whatever it is that I choose to focus on, to really have that foundation to set me up for then being able to effortlessly give to other areas of my life, because I feel so confident in the roots that I put down in one thing.
Right. And it gives you the opportunity as well to investigate your relationship around support.
Yes.
Because once you get that membership to a place where you can focus on the next thing, maybe you're bringing in a community manager, maybe
Oh,
you're
yeah.
bringing in an assistant, and they're like, oh, but wait a minute, like, did you see all the work I did? Can you please make sure that you're do it exactly like me, if not better than me, because this is very important. I mean, that we get all sorts of opportunities for awarenesses when we start investigating that. But you, both of us, we're building empires. It requires team, it requires support, it requires trust, and as much certainty as we have in the universe, we have got to trust that God knew that we were going to need to have a team as well.
Oh, I love that you brought this up. It's such an important piece of this journey and our journey to building those dreams because that is actually where I'm at in realizing
Yeah.
like, yes, I can set up the foundation, but if I if I really want to grow this, I have
Mhm.
to be willing to let go a little bit. I have to be willing to bring in the support and accept that it will take more than just me to grow in the way that I want to grow. And I've, dabbled in having marketing support here and there on things that I've worked on in the past, but it is exactly what you said, that bringing the community to a point where I feel confident and comfortable and proud of what I've built, then
Mhm.
bringing the support in just means I can amplify it even more because I've already
That's right.
built the foundation versus
That's right.
the fear around, oh, I have to let go and no one's going to do it as good as
Mhm.
I am, or no one's going to do it the way I do it. Well, if I've built the foundation, then they'll just carry that forward. And so I think that's exactly it, that you want to work towards that because that's when you really will be able to like give to other things because you can't do it all alone. So such a good.
Right. And we already know we're not coming from a lack mindset. We're coming from an
Oh,
abundance. So it's a great reminder and this beautiful practice that you've been working on all year of focusing on what alignment feels like. Of course, you're going to know the right team members. Of course, you're going to know what support is actually supportive.
yeah, yeah, you're right. It's that knowing and that certainty and having that belief in yourself. And that's the biggest part because then everything will fall into place the way that it's meant to. And,
Yes. And your whole platform is community.
yeah,
So you get to
exactly.
model that
You
as
have to do
well.
it together. It can't be done on an island alone. Just like exactly,
Right?
we're building out our lives together. Why wouldn't I want that support to build out my dream together with
Yes.
others? Yeah, I
And
love
you
that.
have all of the tenants, you have all the practices already in place to implement this.
Yeah,
It's so, those are all cooperative components for
yes.
you to integrate this next beautiful up level in your business. You're also going to need a production crew
I know.
for the show. I mean,
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
thank you for that reflection.
Gosh, and that is the beauty of community, right? Because we can know and
Exactly.
we can read, but we did that at
Yes.
5 o'clock this morning and
Yeah.
it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I need another hit. So that
Yeah.
is the beauty of community.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh, I love you so much.
This was so
Now I
beautiful.
have longing. I have longing now because our time is up. It's shifted. I was full of excitement and now I feel
Oh,
it different in my body. I could honestly not be more grateful to be connected with you. I love the certainty that this is not the last conversation that we're having. And I'm applauding, cheering you on, holding space for all of the big, beautiful ideas in your heart and offering my dreamy barn life here for anything that you need, retreats you want to host, anything that you want to do. This is, I'm supporting you with every ounce of me.
oh, Wendy, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. This was such a beautiful and authentic and meaningful conversation. So I love when you can just talk to someone and it's just a conversation, but it's so full of wisdom and full of learnings and full of growth. And that's what this was. So thank you for having me.
It's my great pleasure. I think the other beautiful part of it is that each of us, we were just reminding each other of what we already know. And
Yes.
that's what we're all doing here. We're just leading each other back home.
Exactly. And I hope this is a reminder to all your listeners too, because I'm sure
Yes.
there's so many things in there that they can relate to. And so, yeah, thank you to everyone out there listening to this because you can have and do all the same things.
Absolutely. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you, how they can get their hands on the book, all the good things.
Yes, amazing. You can find me on Instagram at Paldave, Paldave. My website is embiria.ca, embiria.ca. And you can find all the links to the book and the membership and everything off of there.
So fun. We will link everything down in the show notes. Thank you 1,000 times. You're a treasure.
Thank you so much, Wendy.